Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Kartik. I'm one of the co-founders of ETH Global, and I'm super excited to welcome all of you to Scaling Ethereum Finale. This is our second time doing this event, and we're super excited to talk about all the amazing things that the ecosystem is doing to help scale Ethereum and Web3. All of you are watching this on ethglobal.tv. This is where we're going to be talking about all the things that are happening for the next hour. This will include all the demos, all the prizes, all the discussions, and as you may have already seen, all the summits that we've hosted over the course of the last 3 weeks. And for everybody who here engages with the audience, we'll also be giving out POAPs. So stay tuned for that and log in and say hi to everybody else in our community. So this event is brought to you by ETH Global, and ETH Global is an organization with a very simple mission. Our goal is to onboard thousands of developers into the Web3 ecosystem. And we do this primarily by running hackathons and summits. So scaling Ethereum 2023 was no different. If anything, it was way bigger than what we thought we would be doing. We hosted 3 incredible summits. We talked about everything that's happening in the world of scalability with our kickoff summit on March 10th. Then on the 24th, we talked about all the things that are happening in R&D side of MEV. And this past Monday, 5 days ago, we helped with the summit that led to the launch of the Polygon ZK EVM with the Day 2 summit with Polygon. So we saw a lot of improvements, announcements, and amazing work that's being done in this ecosystem. And today we're excited to share a lot more about what happened with the hackathon. So let's talk about the hackathon for a second. This was a massive event. We had 1,400 people from 92 different countries participating, spanning 24 time zones. And our goal is to talk about and highlight some of the amazing things that people worked on. We put everybody on a map to see where all those 92 countries are represented. And it still constantly amazes me to see so many people excited about what's happening in Ethereum and scaling this world. So not only do we have 1,400 hackers, we also had 107 mentors and 19 partners who were here with us for the last month. And today we're going to be talking about all the stuff that everybody accomplished, but also all the prizes that everybody is going to be winning from participating in the hackathon. We have over $200,000 in prizes, and we'll be talking about which teams won what prizes at the end of all the demos. So I want to quickly give a shout out to all of our amazing partners. We have Optimism, Polygon, Scroll, Gnosis Chain, Ethereum Foundation, Filecoin Virtual Machine, Hyperlane, ApeCoin DAO, Fuel, UMA, Connects, Polybase, PSC, The Graph, ITMax, Era, Mantle, Tyco, Push Protocol for supporting this event. And to all of you hackers, please click the feedback button on your hacker dashboard. We really want to understand how we can make these events better. It shouldn't take you more than 60 seconds to fill out a quick form. We just want to know how your experience was and what we can improve and make better for the next events. So you can just head over to your hacker dashboards. Here's a direct link if you are interested in going in directly. The second you log in, you'll see a giant give us feedback sign that'll really help us improve all future events and get to thousands of more people even better. So let's talk about all the things that happened at this event. We had 1,400 hackers, and last Sunday was when the submissions were due. From those 1,400 hackers, we got 306 incredible submissions. We split this time judging into 2 rounds, and after both rounds of judging that involved asynchronous and live judging from some of our amazing judges from the space, we got to 11 finalist teams. What we're going to do today is bring on these 11 teams to show you what they built over the course of the hackathon and use this as an opportunity to highlight some really interesting and amazing projects that got our judges excited and all of us excited from scaling Ethereum. So in no particular order, I want to congratulate our 11 amazing finalists. So we have Snarky Monster, SearchOS, Ethercart, ZK cftdex, ZCaptcha, Upplay, Gnosis, Cove, Polynote, and Moonboard. These are our 11 amazing teams. We're going to bring them on one by one and they're going to show you what they built live. And after that, we're going to get to all of our prizes. Before we bring on our very first team, I want to take a second to give a massive shout out to these 295 teams here who also spent 3 amazing weeks building something incredible and building something that they themselves were proud of. Just because you were not one of the 11 teams does not mean you were not good enough or there was something wrong. Our goal is just highlight some amazing themes that get the rest of our ecosystem and judges and partners in the space excited. And to all of you who are here, I really encourage all of you to continue working on these projects. Ensure that you get a chance to complete everything you wanted to do. Sometimes everybody, what they work on is not enough time that's built in to finish everything from a feature standpoint. So we really hope that you take the time after this event and after today to still continue pushing code, making everything work as expected, and taking it to the next step. If you need any feedback, you can reach out to us on Discord or email. If you are looking to continue any conversations with some of our amazing judges, you can reach out to us and we'll connect you with some of those judges themselves. Or if you are looking to get in touch with anybody in the space, whether it's some of our partners or mentors or judges again, or even some investors, we're happy to help you with all those things. We really hope that this event serves an opportunity for you to get excited about what could be coming in the next 6 to 12 months from all the amazing work and SDKs and research that's happening and becoming more productized. And we really hope that you use as an opportunity to see why you should be in the space for even more and longer. So congratulations to everybody who submitted a project, and really hope to see some of you do way, way more amazing things right after this event. But for now, let's get to our finalists. So everybody who submitted a project, you can now check out all the submissions on our showcase page. You can just head over to ethglobal.com/showcase, and you'll be able to see all the projects that came out of this event. And that includes all of our finalists that are going to come here, and also all of the other 200, close to 300 projects. But enough talking from me. Let's go on to some amazing demos. So we're going to bring on our very first finalist for today, and that is Team Snarky Monsters. So without further ado, let's give a big round of applause for our first demo and our first team. So, Baz, welcome.
Hey everyone, my name's Baz. This is my teammate Goblin Oats. It's a real pleasure to be here for the ETH Global Hackathon. We've had a really great time, so thank you, Kartik, for all of that. We're super excited to present Snarky Monsters. It is a fully on-chain Pokemon-style video game powered by zero-knowledge proofs, and we built it from scratch over the source of this hackathon. And you can see a little preview of what it looks like here. But before we get into some fun gameplay, let's just talk a little bit about why we did this. So we love fully on-chain games. We love OPCraft, we love Dark Forest. We think what's being done here is a lot more ambitious than just representing game assets on-chain as NFTs. And the reason this is so exciting is because you're taking as much of the game state and logic as possible, and you're representing it in a trustless way and letting devs and players interact with it trustlessly. Now, I used to be a PM at Fortnite, so I've seen firsthand just how much platform risk there is in the gaming industry. And the idea here is really radical. It's like, take Roblox. What if you didn't have to interact with a centralized server to provision access to Roblox? We think that this would lead to emergent, open innovation, reminiscent of the best days of DeFi summer, and also reminiscent of the best days of this industry's greatest open source achievements. The second thing that's really cool is that we're trying to get, the next billion into Web3, and by focusing more on play and maybe less on profiteering, we can make Web3 really fun, and we can bring more people together. This is a scaling Ethereum hackathon, so let's talk about scaling. Squeezing a game onto a blockchain is a bit of a nightmare. And the basic reason is that a blockchain kind of looks like this, but we want to get to that. The answer to scaling that we all know is that you execute code off-chain in a centralized, fast way, and then you create zero-knowledge proofs to attest to that computation on-chain in a trustless way. This works really well so far, but it's not so simple for gaming. Essentially, what you're doing here is you're squeezing your computation into these nice structures, arithmetic circuits. But squeezing a video game into the structure of an arithmetic circuit is really hard. It works for games that have like an obvious mathematical structure like Sudoku, but we don't want to do Sudoku. We want to do something really, really ambitious that's got, low latency and is really fun to play. So Goblin and I sat together and we thought, what is the most complex, fun, interesting game that we could possibly squeeze into these circuits, and we bet that we could do Pokemon. And here is how we did. So here you can see Snarky Monsters. You can get straight into the game, and you can start playing. I can't wait for you all to see this. Now, bear in mind, we are demoing something which is going to be a little bit chaotic because it is a game with unpredictable outcomes. But as you can see, you can choose the different characters you'd like to play as, from normie to AGI to bench capitalist. So hey, today I feel like being a bench capitalist rather than, say, a degen. And you can see immediately my character spawns into the forest, and we can see immediately I encounter a cryptographer, a moon mather, to do some battle, and we can start exchanging moves. And I really want you to notice the speed of this. This is responsive across mobile and desktop. Each move has a chance of a critical hit, has a chance of missing, and you can see that each character has their own unique moves. Here, the venture capitalist can use take 10%. The moon mather's just used plonk. And one of the key gameplay mechanics here is that you can also retrain as a different character. So let's say I want to become a Bitcoin maxi to fight this moon mather. The key gameplay mechanic here is similar to Pokemon. It's discovering what those types are that are super effective. Sometimes, as you can see just there, the VC didn't successfully retrain, and I'm kind of getting pwned by this moon mather right here. But you can see if I try and retrain again, maybe this time as a normie, I might succeed. Let's see how we do. Some of these moves will be super effective against others. So it might be that the normie's moves are super effective against the moon mather, in the same way that fire type is super effective against grass type in Pokemon. And part of the core gameplay loop here is discovering all of those like hidden information mechanics. You can see I've got new moves here. So as a normie, I can go for a boozy brunch or go for a soul cycle. But let's skip ahead to see what happens when you win the game. So here, when you've defeated your enemy, let's say I'm playing as the normie, you'll be able to submit a proof of win, which will submit a transaction to oh, hello. We seem to be having some slight AV issues. Could be because of the way MetaMask is opening. But you'll sign a transaction which posts that game hash on chain, and then you'll be able to see yourself in the leaderboard, and you'll be able to see all your performance being read to from the chain. And you can see what this looks like a little bit, like under the hood, the game hash, what gets posted on chain over here. In terms of how it actually works, what we've done is we have a state channel between player and NPC doing cryptographic commitments to verify randomness. The player at the end of the game posts a hash of the game to scroll AlphaNet. We used Circum to write circuits, an EC2 instance with 14 CPUs and 32 gigs of RAM to generate and post proof to the scroll AlphaNet, which in turn posts the leaderboard back to the player. So nice things about this is that the state channel is really fast, as you saw. The NPC has hidden move logic, which is really key for fun gameplay. And also, if you think about this more philosophically, you've got proprietary code interacting trustlessly. So next steps are to let anyone run a battle server, encode the moves of the game. All of this is possible in theory, and just to note that group generation timescales are the maximum number of turns per game. Really can't wait for you to play it. Follow us for updates, join our Discord, have a chat with us on Twitter. Can't wait for you to get involved. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much for the very first demo. Nothing went wrong. It is a really fun game, and can't wait for all this trend set too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that was our very first demo. Let's go on to our second finalist demo for today, and that is Chris from ZCaptcha. Chris, whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Chris, and for the Scaling Ethereum Hackathon, I put together an app called ZCaptcha. Now, a lot of you might be familiar with apps like bit.ly or other referral or affiliate marketing related platforms that let you generate trackable links. Now, the problem with this is that you have to share your email address. You have to share all your personal information just to use the platform. You're also often locked into platform fees where you're paying a monthly charge, regardless of actually how much you're using the product or generating links. So I wanted to leverage some of the functionality with L2 networks, as well as some zero knowledge components, to create a platform that anybody could use by simply connecting their wallet and generating links using the ZCaptcha app. Now, the way this app works is you simply connect your wallet and you're ready to go. Right now, ZCaptcha is deployed and available on the testnet for these different L2 ZK-EVM compatible networks. So you could use Gnosis, you could use Mumbai or Polygon or Scroll Alpha. But the real benefit is to be able to use multi-chain or whatever chain you want to be able to, or whatever's pertinent to be able to track these links and how they're performing. For the demo, I'm going to walk through Scroll Alpha. When you connect your wallet, you get taken to this form where you can create your ZK link. Now, the way this works is you could have like a referral marketing campaign, or let's say you're running an airdrop for the crypto folks here, and you wanted to be able to track performance of the links, not where they're clicks and they end up as just like rows in someone's database that you don't own, but instead they end up as transactions on smart contracts that are public and available for everyone to see. So if you look here, I have some demo data, and there's a link title here that pre-fills a redirect URL, could be anything you want. Additionally, you could put a reward. So if you wanted to give like a referral bonus or some deposit to the address for using your link and interacting with it, you could add that too. But I'm just going to create the link contract. What happens behind the scenes is every link that you create on this product creates its own smart contract and has its own chain of history that could emit events. You could, hook it up to the graph. You could have it be stored in a backend, and I'll show you through like Polybase, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. As this transaction is finalizing, you get two links. In particular, you get the created contract, and this is on scroll for the example, and you can see that the link has been created, and you get this shareable URL. I do want to mention that I'm making a little bit of a transition here between myself that deployed the contract and a arbitrary consumer that could come to your app. So I'm going to switch over to this other address and interact with this contract as if I was someone that was using this almost as a middleware to get to the deposit. So I click the continue to page, confirm the transaction, and this page could be polished up in the future, but essentially the user is now able to redirect and credit the referrer as driving a referral to this airdrop page or whatever sort of referral you want to drive or thing you want to track. Coming back to the contract, you can see now rather than a row in a database, we have a transaction that's appended in the open domain for everyone to see and use and potentially tie rewards to as users are coming through the ZK link. If you paste the address of the contract, you get a lighter weight version of reporting that you can see the performance of your links over time. So actually this happened, under a minute ago, EST. You can see that this address interacted with my link, and I have one here on March 31st. Slow start, but we'll see how it tracks over time. And you also have referral links that get generated as well, referrals through push protocol that you can see that are attached to your account on the blockchain. There's no backend. I'm using fully push protocol to track this, and Polybase on the backend to attach all the links to my address that you connect with. All the codes on my GitHub. I have a couple links you could try here and interact with, but that's pretty much it. And thanks for your time.
Amazing. Thanks, Chris. Another cool application of preserving some information and still letting people interact on chain. We're going to see a lot of themes here for what we're going to do with zero-knowledge proofs for this hackathon. So don't just get settled in yet. Thank you. And with that, we are ready for our third finalist demo for today. And I'd like to now bring on Project Upplay. Welcome.
Hi. Nice to be in an global hackathon in App Final again. And nice to see you. I'm starting my presentation. Hi, we are Upplay team from IT Blockchain in Istanbul. I'm Ulaş from Upplay team, and I will be presenting Upplay, our project for the scaling hackathon. In this hackathon, we have built an account abstraction improvements on top of OP stack by custom precompiles, which enables Apple secure enclave signatures in the optimism rollups. This improvement means our accounts will be able to send transactions using Face and Touch ID without having seed phrases or private keys, and our mobile devices reaching hardware wallet security. Let's talk about how this story came up. We believe that we can reach next billions by improving the wallet experiences by rebuilding everyday devices as blockchain wallets with awesome account abstraction features like wallet guardians, sending batch transactions, paying fees with ERC20 tokens, and sending feeless transactions. So it means we don't need seed phrases as default, which confuses new adopters. And we can stay safe with our mobile devices. It's better to show everything in action, so it's the demo time. I'm sharing my mobile phone screen. I will be using my mobile phone, so I think you can see me in the mobile app, and I'm switching to our demo, which is Upplay mobile app and mobile wallet. I'm initiating my mobile account, and it's preparing the account details, and then it will deploy the account contract to the Optimism Girl testnet, and it will verify my Face ID when it's ready. For the demo purposes, we are deploying users' accounts and also sending some ETH and OP tokens from our faucet in demo. It verified my Face ID, and now we can see we have some ETH and OP tokens. We will be sending some ETH and OP tokens in our send model. We have an address in my clipboard, and I'm choosing sending ETH or OP tokens. I will send 1, 2, 3, 4 OP tokens, and also I can choose paying fees with ETH or OP tokens again. When we prepare the transactions I'm sending, it checks my Face ID and sending the transactions. The bundler of ERC4337 gets my transaction, and now we can see our transaction in the Etherscan. In normal conditions, we have custom OP stack rollup, which we enabled. The precompilers can verify the signatures of Apple devices, but this demo purpose to see the transactions in the Etherscan, we switch to the Girly testnet. I'm turning back to our mobile app, and you can see that my OP tokens are decreased, and we can use our mobile devices as hardware wallets and send transactions verifying by our Face ID. I'm stopping my demo and let's go to the presentation. After this hackathon, we will be dreaming new account abstraction features and exploring new blockchain ecosystems to create the best account abstraction wallet, and hopefully we will ship Upplay as a product. Please say hi to my teammates Doğan, Tahir, Dilara, and Hamza, who bring this amazing product to real. And please reach us in Twitter and Upplay tag. We are open for any partnerships and collaboration to bring Upplay to life. Thanks for listening me. Again, it's great to demoing my projects and correctly our projects in Git Levels Hackathon.
Amazing. Thanks, Ulas. This was great, and we saw all the amazing attention and feedback you got on Twitter already from this announcement. This is a really cool way to leverage just everything we have already on devices, and can't wait to see what you do with this. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next up is Polynote. So without further ado, let's welcome the Polynote team. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to be in the ETH scaling hackathon final, and I will be presenting the application Polynote that we built in Polybase for taking decentralized nodes. And we brought some exciting protocols together to build the centralized node-taking application on Polybase. And now you can securely take your nodes. We have a very UX-friendly user authentication where user doesn't need to sign a message every time to do an action. Everything is done through GVT tokens, and this is a one-time process. Your nodes are encrypted in Polybase collections, and no other user can read your nodes. You can safely take nodes in Polynote. For the future plans, we already started ChatGPT implementation, and we already have some improvements, but it needs to be improved after the hackathon. So we also want to enable the live co-editing of the nodes, and some security checks should be done for the future. I will be live demoing in the polynote.ethblockchain.com. So we have a very exciting landing page where we show the project details and the main features. We also share the tech stack and the team from Istanbul Technical University blockchain student club. We also have a dark theme for the landing page, but I will go with the light theme right now. For the registration, I will use MetaMask and create a new account to show you the whole registration process. For the first time, I have to sign 2 messages, one for registering my account and one for signing in. And this is just an onboarding process, and this is one-time process, so you don't have to sign anything to log in yourself to the account if you don't log out. When I come to my dashboard, I can see my account details. I can edit my name if I want and change the theme if I want. But now I will use the light theme for this account. Then I will be sharing another account for other features too. And I can start creating my notes with my favorite emoji and the title. When the note is created, I can start adding text decorations with the headlines that I want. I can add bullet lists or just texts. I can modify the text as bold, italic, and other options. I will talk about Polynote AI soon. I can also upload image through the Web3 storage, which is supported by Filecoin virtual machine. And we can also, as you can see, upload images directly. And these images are stored based on decentralized protocols. I will also show you the notifications feature where other users can share notes with you. So first, I have to opt in to the notifications to receive them. And this is because of the push SDK, and this is how it works. I'm copying the address of this account and moving to the other account with the exciting note that I created before. And I can start sharing the note with this account. Let's clear the whitelist and add only this user. And I'm sending a transaction. And this is done through the smart contract, and smart contract is deployed to the Scroll Alpha testnet. Let's wait for the transaction to be confirmed before moving to the other account and seeing the note. I'm waiting for the transaction, and as you can see, the note is shared successfully. When I go back to my other account, I have to see the notification that pops out over here. As you can see, my previous account shared a note with me. I'm verifying my identity and seeing the shared note over here. Finally, I will show you some features from the Polynote AI that we recently implemented after the submission. We have several features with as you can see, you can summarize text, fix grammar issues, make the text longer. For example, let's try summarizing this section. It sends a request to OpenAI and gets a summary about the text. I can copy this if I want, or just, for example, let's try another feature. Let's summarize this part, the team members, and we can directly apply this instead of the selected text. And this is Polynote. We are excited to be the finalist, and we are excited to continue this project for the next months. Thank you for listening.
Amazing. Well, congratulations to all of you, as a lot of consistent talent that we see from ITU student groups. So can't wait to come back and to ETH Global Istanbul this year as well. Well, that was our 4th demo for today. Let's go on to number 5. So without further ado, let's bring on SearchOS.
Thank you, Kartik. Hello and greetings from Team SearchOS. And for this hackathon, we decided to build an urgently needed tool that we believe embraces the scaling Ethereum philosophy, namely the user experience. Let us explain the core problem. Almost every day, there's a new website, an app, or a tool for every conceivable problem we're facing within the blockchain space. And while it is a progressive development, it also means you must navigate multiple hard-to-understand menus and complex interfaces just to get on with your daily Web3 business. This fragmented approach makes it difficult for new users to navigate the Web3 space, creating a high entry threshold. And that's why we built SearchOS. SearchOS is an AI-powered Web3 search engine that makes interacting with your favorite blockchain applications easy. It aims to gather the different elements of the Web3 ecosystem into one place and is searchable with one single query. Let's take a look. So this is SearchOS. It's essentially a search bar, but this is also where the magic lies. Let's say we want to query the wallet balance. We would simply type wallet and we search, and then you get a wallet balance. You could also type an ENS name. So we could type nick.eat. We query that, and we get his wallet balance. We also made a small integration towards the Lens protocol. So typing something like Stanley.lens, we can see his Lens profile on Lenster, followers, followings, posts, and so on. And this kind of concludes our keyword-based searches. It's not very difficult. We basically take the keyword and then we map it to our integration. So let's head over to our AI-powered searches. So using the same search bar, you could type something like, is link expensive? And then we make a query. We wait for a bit for it to fetch, and you can see the token price for today. You can also type something like, is gas high right now on Ethereum? And make that query. And in 1 second, we should get back the gas price. We also made an integration using the keywords, so you could use that as well. We're not only able to fetch information, but we can also execute action-based queries directly here on the platform. So you could write something like send 10 USDC to Vitalik.e, and you can make that query. And waiting a bit, yes, we would get back this form pre-filled in with his wallet address, token, amount, and so on. And if I did have 10 USDC, I could transfer it to him right here on this platform. And same thing with swap 10 USDC to DAI. And if we also make this query, we will get back this swap widget. It should be pretty familiar to most Web3 natives. You have the from, to, how much you pay, and how much you get back. And yeah. And behind the scenes, we have wrapped ChatGPT, basically. We have instructed it to use our tools, and then it deduces which tool to use depending on the query. It then formats and inputs the query into our integration, and this is what you get. So for this hackathon, we believe that we have only scratched the surface of the possible powerful search capabilities of SearchOS. And for every integration and every new feature embedded into our platform, we can instruct our platform to give us yet more sophisticated solutions. Looking at the future, we believe that SearchOS has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with Web3. By abstracting away all the core functionalities, we can, and just leaving a simple query-based framework, we can create a more interconnected Web3 ecosystem. Looking at the roadmap, our next steps would include better UI support for mobile, improving the AI model, and last but not least, developing an extension and SDK of our application. The ambition here would be to finally have an intuitive, all-in-one encapsulated way of navigating Web3. Finally, if you want to test our application, we are live on searchos.xyz. And with that said, thanks for listening, and yeah, hope to hear from you soon.
Amazing. Congratulations. And great to see that this project is live and available for anybody on the website or just watching this to try it out. So head over to searchos.xyz and give it a shot. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. With that, we are at our halfway mark. We got 6 more projects to go. And up next is Jordan from cftdex and Flash Trillions. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Kartik. I'm ready. For this project, cftdex, I built a new technology of lending similar to flash loans, but more powerful. So why do we need this? We need it in emergency liquidations
in situations where it's not even possible to borrow any money using a flash loan, when it's not even available. So what is flash collateral? We allow the user to borrow any amount of money, yes, trillions of money that doesn't even exist. So how does this work? This works by shadowing the entire protocol to funny money, and then when the flash collateral liquidations are done, we commit the changes to the actual protocol. So I implemented the cftdex, but what is a CFD? CFD, you're trading euro dollar, you're not touching euro or a dollar. You're just betting on price difference. So let's see how this works. I implemented this on multiple blockchains, but I'll try it on ZKVM here for the demo. I connect with MetaMask. I'm logged in. I select a pair. I deployed only one pair. And this user, I already deposited $100,000 worth of collateral. And I'm going to take this bid, which is going to take me into a short position. I confirm and I wait for confirmation. So I'm going to use small collateral to get a 10 times larger short position. Let's see this. We're waiting for it. There it is. And now my holding, now I have a holding of this amount of yuan. Sorry. So for some reason my holding that is not there, but I'm gonna take another position. Let's see. And so, okay, I can't take two holdings. I obviously, my first position was in the queue while I tried a second. But here, I'm going to go and mock the price. And I have a prepared utility that mocks the price. And I'm going to copy it from my cheat sheet. Here is a utility that mocks the price. And I'm going to mock the price to 0.16 dollar per yuan. This transaction went through and I'm in the red. My position can be liquidated. So let's find someone with money. This is going to be account number 2. Yes, account number 2 has enough collateral and they can liquidate my position. We wait for the transaction to go through and they're going to assume my position. Yes, they now assume my position and their collateral jumped by $925. Actually, they made money by liquidating my position. But this is only the front end. And here's the juicy part. Flash collaterals. Alice has a position for euro dollar at 1.1. The price change, she's in the red. Bob is offering to take that position at even worse price. And the liquidator, Larry, comes in to take a small loss, but make up for the loss with the liquidation penalty. This is only possible if you borrow immense amount of money. Yes, 1 trillion. And he's going to end up making $560 at the end. So let's try this. For this, I have a local fork of a Gnosis blockchain because it would take too long to do 10, 15 transactions. And I'm going to just run my tests. Test is running. If my tests pass, this shows it's working. Yes, all tests pass. And this guy made this much money, $560 from this flash collateral transaction. Well, how does this work? It's so simple. The liquidation itself is this is the test, and the liquidation call is only a few lines of code, and the actual contract for liquidation is very simple. It's less than 40 lines of code. So that's it. And I just want to tell what I want to do next. Build DEXs for options, futures, interest swaps, and syndicate all of them using the same Flash collateral technology. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Truly amazing. Sometimes live demos can be tricky, but you pulled through, and this finally worked out. And
I was impatient to not wait for my transaction.
well, it was still a great demo, and we understood exactly what was going to happen. So congratulations, and hope to see this in the wild.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right. Next up is Gnosis. We're going to see a lot of cool things about our account abstraction. Whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. We are Gnosis. We are a smart contract wallet provider based on EIP 4337, focused on frictionless onboarding for the next billion Web3 users. I'm Brian. I'm a software engineer based in the Bay Area.
I'm Ben, a new grad from Berkeley.
I'm Phil, a software engineer from Los Angeles.
And I'm Philip, a smart contract developer from Miami.
So what are we? We are working to be one of the first end-to-end providers of the ERC 4337 account abstraction standard. We want to provide a familiar experience for Web3 user interfaces to both Web3 and Web2 users alike. The problem we're trying to solve, the Web3 onboarding experience is confusing for new customers. Easy-to-use wallet providers can often raise significant consumer-facing security vulnerabilities, such as private key links or misuse of consumer funds. Interacting with Web3 sites and buying crypto can make it difficult to interact with on-chain apps, and on-chain transactions also require high fees to process. Our solution is a one-click user onboarding experience and social logins to emulate the existing Web2 user flows, a security-focused wallet and infrastructure designed to protect users from bad actors, as well as response plans and functionality to protect our users' assets in the event of a hack. We also have pay-as-you-go functionality to provide frictionless payment and dApp interaction. And then some users will actually never have to buy crypto again. And then, of course, transaction bundling and paymasters, which come as a standard of the EIP 4337. So what is ERC 4337 and how does it work? I won't go too in depth here. I think that this proposal is pretty complicated, but it's pretty interesting, and I think it's going to change how we interact with our ecosystem as a whole. So I encourage everyone to read it and really understand what's going on. So most importantly, what did we build for the hackathon? We built a full custom suite of smart contracts based on the ERC 4337 infrastructure. We also built an onboarding website to allow users to sign up and configure their wallet, and then a wallet extension at the beginning of an SDK, and then miscellaneous work to support future chains and ecosystems, such as Optimism and ZK-Sync. So now we're going to go into our demo. This is our wallet creation front end. This is a public website you can visit at gnosis.io. You can go ahead and sign up, and we have a account already set up for this demo. We can go ahead and launch a wallet, and when we launch a wallet, we'll be prompted to do a few things. We'll want to select our chains here. For the sake of the demo, we're going to do Goerli and Mumbai. And you're also prompted to choose your choice of key management, either custodial or non-custodial. If you choose non-custodial, you'll be prompted to add an EOA, such as MetaMask. You can also configure recovery signers with a name, email, and address. This will allow us to recover your wallet in the event of a lost private key or hack. And then set up some security features. So this is for requiring multi-sig for a transaction interacting with a large amount of funds. Or you can also set up the savings account feature, which allows any incoming transactions to automatically withdraw a certain percentage and save it to a cold wallet or savings account. We also have a set up your profile section, which is part of our effort of cross-chain identity. You can add a bit of information as well as your social profiles. So now we're going to go ahead and launch the wallet. You can see it does some background calculation. Both these addresses are deterministic as nature of ERC 4337. We're going to go ahead and launch these, and then while it's processing, we're going to show you some of the extension. Here's the extension. We're going to request a transfer for 0.01 Ethereum. Go ahead and confirm that, and it's also going to be pending. While this is pending, I think we can go back and check on those wallet deployments. And so, yep, they're ready. Both of these have been deployed to the addresses. They're both should be contracts. Etherscan sometimes takes a little bit to pick it up. But they both came from our contract factory, and they should have 0 balance in them as we use paymasters to deploy them. Here is a confirmed transaction. Let's see if the transaction shows up here. Yep. And you can see that it's a contract with a set of internal transactions. So now we can go check on the wallet extension. It has been completed. We have sent 0.01 to the address, as well as you can see that the transaction was bundled through a bundler and has multiple sets of transfers in a single transaction. And you can see that it came from our account and then went to the account we specified. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, big thank you to ETH Global and everyone involved. Huge thank you for the team allowing me to put you through quite the ringer of the past few weeks. And then, of course, if you're interested in helping build, design, or have any feedback, please reach out. It is live and our email is up here as well. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Well, congratulations. And now this is awesome. We're going to see so much creativity around the crown abstraction. And with something like this, you enable a lot more complex and simple applications to be built on top. So I hope we get to see this being used in production by everybody else too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Team Moonboard. So without further ado, let's work on. Okay, everybody.
Cool. Hi there. Cool. This is Moonboard, a social pinning platform for interest boards and early creative market exposure. So interest board sites are mostly ad-based revenue models, where creators are subject to the algorithm, original work is not high on interest boards, and most have to use a multiple of social media sites for exposure, like new NFT projects having to use engagement farming marketing tactics on popular platforms. The result is we don't see new interests or new projects without some embedded ad-based payment incentive. So what if we leverage Web3 social tuning and payments and NFT digital provenance to change this payment incentive at scale? So the benefits of this is that it could create a win-win situation where sharing is easy, fun, and cheap, i.e. pinning. Creators can also get an idea of how popular their content or interests are without too much effort or burden. And mooners, who we'll explain about a little bit later, can get in on the economics and get passive income for helping board, vote up, and socially validate creators' work. So how it works, put simply, people pay to pin, but only a very small amount. So a pinner pays a pin fee, only about 18 cents. In the Moonboard's made up of moon pins, NFTs that are showing the beneficiaries of a pin fee. There's a payout of the pin fee of 75% to the creator of the moon pin, and to the mooner, who is a curator of the Moonboard, gets 25%. So let's see this in action. Banky, take it away.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks, Mahal. So I'll jump into the Moonboard application that we have here. The first thing that users see is the Explore page, where you can actually see all the Moonboards that have been created. Users can sort them by most pins, most votes, or they can create a Moonboard. So that's the first thing I'll do here. I'll create one from some uploaded images. In the future, we're going to allow users to actually create Moonboards using existing NFTs that they own, or even from existing Moonboards. So there's some recursion. Okay, so we'll continue here. We can name the Moonboard, and then we can publish. We charge users a small fee for creating the Moonboard and for each pin that they create. So by publishing, we upload all the images to IPFS, and then we create some NFTs to determine the ownership of these items on chain. So now you can see our created Moonboard here. And this is fine and good, but what really makes Moonboard unique is the ability to pin items. So I'm going to show that off with a second account that we'll call the pinner. So I'll switch accounts here. So this pinner account has a board called my cool board with no items in it currently. This user can browse around and find some items that they find interesting. such as maybe I want to pin this NFT. I can go ahead and click the pin button. I can select my cool board to pin it to, and then I can click the pin button. We show the user how much we're going to charge. This, like Mahal said, is about 18 cents in USD right now. And those fees go directly to the creator who owns this item and the person who created this board. So in a 75 to 25% split. So I'll go ahead and do that. And I can see my boards, and this item has been pinned. So what this does is it creates a really strong incentive for people to pin items that actually have a lot of value that other people would find interesting. In addition to this, it creates a source of royalty fees for the creators who make these original NFTs. Okay, the last feature that I'd like to share is voting. This is one other way that users can show their appreciation for some work. A user can go ahead to a Moonboard and actually vote up on certain items. This is all also recorded on chain. I'll pass it back to Mahal now to conclude the presentation.
Yes, so through this voting and calculating most pins, a Moonboard can gain popularity quite easily and quickly and organically. So both mooners and creators can be paid out by pinners, plus discover if there's a market for their content early and at scale. So yeah, this is Moonboard, where Moonboards are created and new content can be collected, shared, and pinned. You can try it out at moon-dashboard.versal.app. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. And this looks amazing and beautiful. This is great. All right. Well, thank you so much. We got 4 more demos to go. So let's welcome the Ethercart's team next. Whenever you're ready.
I asked my first handy back with a study on it. And not much. Sounds familiar? Turns out, I helped you fund the editor website and conducting the activity. All I did is study you know, if God could get searches of branded popularity. It's like none of that big issue that she didn't do that thing. Other, the sin of why they affected people to their top back and all so, Porsche's after itself is how might you simplify club purchase when not used it? I'm about to say introducing Ethercart. Loaded to the finish of the introduction of electric society category. Ethercart offers you what flexible ways for users to save the evidence services in the East. Name your name. And adopt NFC protocol with an instance that can the last needed is a mobile device, a self-custodial wallet, and an e-segment. Whether you're grabbing your need for growth tunes or exploring new destinations, Ethercart can often make payment that's good for you. Additionally, if it benefits of that include the number of smaller meetings, particularly its innovative and it prefers in market it expects to build on an informative. So, also say hello to Ethercart. Modern day things like what the company semi-fixed back to, and the things like generating $100,000 in annual revenue, that means up to $4,000 in transactions. This also leaves behind the majority of local residents in developing countries who cannot get access to bank accounts or bank cards. Ethercart helps to reduce these costs to only 1% and allows merchants to receive payments faster. So picture this. You're a small business owner like Jorge, and you want to start accepting crypto payments. With Ethercart, your customers can simply tap their Ethercart, which is embedded with an NFC chip linked to your crypto wallet, to your phone. No more confusing payment systems or waiting to confirm the transfer. Just tap and go. Now you can accept crypto payments faster so that more time is actually spent on running your business. With these users and considerations in mind, let's walk through the user's journey.
Thank you, Maggie. Imagine that you are a customer checking out at Jorge's store. The cashier totals your items to a total of 0.01 ETH. The cashier inputs this amount into the Ethercart app and presses the request button. The user now simply has to tap their Ethercart onto the NFC reader. As we can see on the right side of the screen, Ethercart does not store the user's private key. Instead, it stores a compressed zero-knowledge proof that proves ownership of the user's smart contract wallet. For our tech stack, we built Ethercart using React, NFC technology, Ethereum virtual machine, account abstraction to create the user's debit account, and zero-knowledge proofs to prove ownership of these accounts.
For the future, we'll enable users to simply tout their mobile phones with one another to enable payment, and also support 100+ cryptocurrencies in addition to ETH. Let's build the future of fintech together with Ethercart.
Awesome. Well, another amazing example of account abstraction and also cool hardware hacking. So this is great. Well, congratulations, and I hope to see Ethercarts being handed out to people in the future.
Thank you.
All right, we got 2 more demos to go, and let's welcome our second last finalist of today, ZCaptcha.
Hey folks, we are Team ZCaptcha, and here's what we built for the hackathon. My name is Ketan, and I'm responsible for the ZK and Merkle verification. I also built out the smart contracts and wrote the CAPTCHA creator.
And I'm Andrew. I designed the ZK prover and the Merkle tree generation, as well as both the backend and the front end.
So bots have invaded Web3. As you can see from these news clippings, scalping bots are causing problems in NFT mints, sniping bots are disrupting token launches, and Sybil attacks are damaging airdrops and making Web3 games unplayable. Additional Web2 methods like Cloudflare don't work with Web3 because bots can directly hit the blockchain, rendering these services ineffective. To address these challenges, we created a solution called ZCaptcha. It's a service that safeguards your smart contracts on the blockchain.
Let's go into a quick demo to see how this works. ZCaptcha uses zero-knowledge proofs to create Sybil-resistant smart contracts. These proofs show that you solved the challenges correctly without compromising the security of the system. What this means is that no one can front-run your CAPTCHA solution once it's sent to the mempool, nor can a malicious user circumvent the challenge altogether. And to make this possible, we leverage the following technologies, as well as use the Noir proving language, which is built by Aztec. So developers are those that use ZCaptchas in their dApps and smart contracts to protect them from bots. And it's very easy to incorporate this into their smart contracts. All that the developers have to do is define an interface and prepend the function call they want to protect with the require statement, which verifies the validity of the CAPTCHA solution that's sent in the transaction. Now, we've also created an offering called SybilRank, and this is an open system that defines a reputation score based on an account's past interactions with ZCaptcha. The more CAPTCHAs you solve, the higher your score, showing evidence of a legitimate user, and the more you're getting correct, the lower your score, indicating otherwise. You can see my SybilRank here. Now, as ZCaptchas use more and more, the CAPTCHA verification data will allow other dApps and services to have a better understanding of their users. If you want to integrate ZCaptcha into your dApp, we urge you to go to our website, zcaptcha.xyz, and go to the developer section where you can fill out a Google form. This will allow us to share with us what you want to use ZCaptcha for, and will help us continue iterating and improving our product. There's also an FAQ section for any questions you might have, and also goes into some design considerations. Now, users are those that actually complete the CAPTCHA challenges, so they can interact with smart contracts and dApps that are protected by ZCaptcha. And we can see this in action. What we've done is we created an NFT collection that takes some of the biggest names of Web3 and took those names and transformed them into CAPTCHAs themselves. And I can show you how we can mint these NFTs that are protected by ZCaptcha. So we can connect our wallet, and let's say we want to mint the Vitalik Buterin CAPTCHA. We're presented with a challenge, and we have to transcribe the sequence of letters and numbers presented to us in the screen to show that we're not a bot. Once the user submits the proof, the client side will create a zero-knowledge proof that validates correctness, and the smart contract can validate the correctness of this proof and allows the minting function to proceed. We can send this transaction and then see that it actually was minted successfully. Sometimes it takes a second for the block to be approved, and there we go. We can see that we minted our token successfully. Now, the really exciting stuff happens behind the scenes, so let's get into that now.
So the process you just witnessed is depicted in this diagram. The end user solves a CAPTCHA, proving that they're not a bot. This process is condensed into a ZK proof which is sent as an additional argument to the smart contract function being called. The function passes this to our verifier to obtain the green light to continue. To recap, we have three components: a backend system responsible for creating the Merkle proofs, a client-side prover to create the ZK proofs, and finally, an on-chain verifier that checks both. While the ZK proof shows that you solved some challenge correctly, the Merkle proofs are necessary to show that you solved the challenge that was given to you. Looking ahead, we're exploring multi-party computation protocols to further decentralize our system. We plan to adopt zero-knowledge machine learning to do things like cursor tracking, similar to what Web2 folks consider state-of-the-art. Finally, we believe that the Sybil rank score based on ZCaptcha could serve the useful wallet abstraction service. We've seen this with other high-throughput blockchains, and as we strive to scale Ethereum, cheaper transactions is going to mean more bots and more spam. We believe that ZCaptcha is a step in the right direction to prevent this from happening. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. And this is another interesting application of being able to put important information on chain and have people leverage just smart contracts directly instead of creating hacky bypasses to get the same effective flow. So I hope this becomes a bigger open source contribution to the space and people get to use this instead of ZCaptcha. Congrats. All right, with that, we are ready for our last and final finalist demo of the day. So without further ado, let's welcome Matt from Cove. Hey everyone, we're presenting Cove, simple, reliable, open source contract verification built for an L2-centric Ethereum ecosystem. Excuse me. Our team consists of Matt Solomon, Ed Mazurek, David Laprade, Gary Hyret, and John Ferris. We're engineers at Scopelift, a crypto-focused dev shop building smart contracts and more for the Web3 ecosystem. So we built a novel contract verification service, and let's start talking about why this is needed. Right now, verification often fails, and developers are given no useful feedback as to why. You can see this for yourself with the over 200 verification-related issues in the Foundry and Hardhat repositories. Additionally, each layer 2 chain has their own block explorer, so you have to manually verify with each verification provider, which doesn't scale very well for developers who are deploying on multiple chains and many L2s. Additionally, verified contracts are not linked to Git commits or tags, so it's hard to verify that the audited code from an audit report is actually what's deployed on chain. And it's hard to verify the source code verification yourself if you don't trust the hosted service or if you just want to be extra sure. Lastly, there's currently a one-to-one mapping of verification providers to UIs for viewing and interacting with verified contracts. Anyone can spin up their own front end to interact with a smart contract like Uniswap, but it's a lot harder to spin up your own front end to view smart contracts. So now I'll take a look at the demo. Okay, so on the left here, we have our very simple front end. You can see we're verifying Seaport. This commit hash is version 1.4 of Seaport, and we have the contract address here. So when we hit verify, this sends a request to the server. You see all of our inputs up top. And first, what we're doing is for each chain, you can see they're color-coded. These are all running in parallel. We're trying to find the block and transaction where that contract address was deployed on that chain. We use that to get the creation code, and you can see we found creation code on 4 different chains. Once we find the creation code, we then clone the repository and check out the given commit. We now have the repository locally, and we can tell based on its structure that this is a forked project, and there's all these different build commands here. In this particular case, we know the optimized profile is the one that we're looking for. So in the interest of time, we only build with the optimized profile, and you can see that command down here. And we're generating some extra output for the verification, which we'll use to match up the bytecodes. So this will take a few more seconds to finish compiling. And once the contract's finished compiling, we'll have our artifacts, which are our compiled smart contracts. And what we'll do is we'll check each artifact, compare its creation code that we generated just now to the creation code that we found on chain in the previous step.
Once we do that, you'll see a list of each chain that we were able to verify the creation code on, and we'll return that information to the front end, along with all the associated metadata, such as compiler settings, most importantly, source code, and a whole bunch of other information. So this should be finishing up any second now. All right, so there we go. We can see the build succeeded. We found our matching bytecode on all 4 chains, and we send the response back to the front end. Right, so we verified on all 4 chains. We're just showing Optimism-specific data in this response arbitrarily, and you can see all of the source code, right? cport.sol is our base contract. You can see all the source code here. Not the prettiest, but you can imagine someone formatting this to look nice. One other thing Cove does, which is kind of nice, is if you want to view a contract, you enter your chain and the address. And if that contract is not verified, we try to take a best guess. That way users can still get some information, right? And so in this case, we just have this unverified counter contract, but we're still able to kind of figure out the ABI, set number, view number, increment number, and we take a best guess at the source code. And this is all powered by Heimdall RS by Jonathan Becker. So that way, even for unverified contracts, we can still try to give something useful to the users. So what's next for Cove? We want to support more development frameworks and languages. We currently only support Forge and Solidity, but we want to expand that to the range of tools and languages that are out there. We also want to ensure verification is robust, right? This is the most important part. And contract verification can get pretty complicated when you account for things like create to, contract factories, self-destruct, which is going on soon, immutables, libraries, and all these other things. So there's a lot of different types of contracts and things that we need to check, and we want to make sure we're handling all those. And we also want to make sure that any verification failures give helpful error messages, because we know this is a really big pain point currently. Once we have all that solidified, we want to improve the UX. So you can imagine automatically verifying on Etherscan and Sourceify once you submit to code to save developers time. We want to make sure that the sources are hosted somewhere publicly available. So that way people can fetch the source code for themselves, verify these verifications, and make sure all the code is accessible. And lastly, build a first-party UI just to showcase all of these benefits. If you want to take a look at the code, it's all open source. You can find it at the 2 URLs below. And test things out, play around with it. Just be warned, it is hackathon code, so use at your own risk. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks, Pat. We need amazing dev tools like this, especially as multi-chain deployment is becoming more and more common. Being able to actually get there faster and understand what's going on, managing that with a proper commit history to deployment tracing is going to be important. Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Anytime. Well, you did all the work. So, well, with that, we are done with our 11 amazing finalist demos. So I want to thank all these teams just one more time: the Snarky Monster, ZK-Links, Upplay, Polynote, SearchOS, cftdex, Gnosis, Moonboard, Ethercart, ZCaptcha, and Cove. For all of you who kind of watched all these demos, you may have seen some interesting themes. Obviously, we're trying to figure out how do we make things work really well with on-chain and off-chain solutions. A lot of stuff leverages zero-knowledge proofs here to minimize the data we need to store on blockchains. Blockchains are not databases, and we can leverage so much of the work we can do off-chain and prove that it was actually legitimate and commit that to on-chain. We saw really cool and interesting applications of consumer apps, whether they are note-taking or social in nature. And not only just were they cool consumer applications that leverage L2s, but they are ready for you to use. You can try out a lot of these things, including the games that we saw early today. And of course, the biggest theme of all, account abstraction. We're just scratching the surface on the cool and interesting hacks and features you can implement with account abstraction. And I just know that for the next hackathons we're going to do and just all the interesting things that I know people are working on in this space, this is going to be a way, way, way bigger deal than we think, because it simplifies and enables and unlocks so many cool things. So
here are some themes that you can expect to become popular in the next 6 to 12 months. And I want to give a massive shout out to all of our amazing teams who came here, demoed live what they built. And a lot of them are available for all of you to try out directly on production right now. You can head over to their showcase page and see all these demos and see which ones are live for you to try and press the live demo button. So congratulations. And now for the part that all of you have, I am sure, definitely been waiting for. Let's talk about the prizes. We're giving away $200,000 in prizes, and I'm going to just go through all of them as quick as I can because I know a lot of you have been waiting for a while. So let's start with optimism. Without further ado, the Upplay and Pixel team are going to be taking in $5,000 for the first place Hack the Stack. They made some really, really creative improvements and will leverage the OP stack, and even actually modified Geth and the Optimism code base to get some pre-compile send to make really cool hackathon projects. So congratulations to those teams for the first place prize. You're all going to be getting $5,000 each. Restaking.wtf is the second place winner with $3,000 for this category. And L2 Staking will be the third place $2,000 recipient. So congratulations. On top of that, Match, Polyattest, and Native Bellier will be receiving $2,000 each for the attestation category track prizes. And there is going to be 10 teams who are going to be splitting $4,000 each equally, so $400 per team for the pool prize category, which was the criteria for using the OP stack or Optimism in a really interesting, meaningful way. So congratulations to Bye, Private Key, Polum, Medjets, Scone, Ethercart, cftdex, Place, Web3 Clay, StyleFetcher, and Rewarder. Then we have Polygon. For the Polygon prizes, Auto Audit and Cove are going to be taking in $2,500 for the best Web3 developer tool. cftdex and Fiat Paymaster are going to be taking in the best application deployed on the Polygon ZK EVM. So congratulations. And Sassy and PolyID Bridge are the winners of the Polygon ID category. So they're also equally going to be taking in $2,500 each. Congratulations. Then we have Scroll. A lot of people built on Scroll. So ZCaptcha, ZK Proof, and Union Execution are the best applied ZK Hack project winners. They're going to be taking in $2,500 each. And Fiat Paymaster and Scale are the best use of the block space SDK category, and they're going to be receiving $2,500 as well. And because so many people deployed on Scale, 84 teams are going to be splitting $10,000 for the pool price category. So that means each of these teams listed here, 84, right, are going to be taking in $119 each. So I won't be able to say all these names because of time, but all of you here listed are the winners for the pool price category. Don't worry, you don't have to scroll for yourself to be in this and find yourself here. All this will be made available and publicized in a couple of minutes. So congratulations to all of these teams. Next up is Gnosis Chain. So the most innovative dApps on Gnosis Chain, the first prize goes to Cove for $8,000. Gnosis takes in the second prize as $5,000, and Abstrade will be the third place recipient for $3,000. And the best project on Hashi is going to be Palm for $2,000. Congratulations. Then we have the Filecoin Virtual Machine winners. Swastern will be taking in the $2,000 Data DAO prize. DataX will be receiving the Programmable Storage Markets category prize for $2,000. And Scale is the best tooling on FVM, $2,000 recipients. TimePact is the winner for the Primitives and Infrastructure category, taking in $2,000. And Cruiser Cards is the Wildcard FVM project deployment winner for another $2,000. Next up is Hyperlane. So OneFi is the winner for the $4,000 best permissionless interoperability prize. Scaly Valley and Multinade are going to be taking in $2,000 each for the best use of Hyperlane warp routes. And Credence is the $2,000 winner for the best Hyperlane power scaling infrastructure prize category. So congratulations. Then we have UMA. Papantla is going to be the first place $5,000 winner, and UMA Safe is the runner-up for the best use of UMA.
optimistic oracles here. So you're going to be taking in $2,000. And these 12 teams are going to be splitting $3,000 for the pool price category. So each of these teams here will be receiving $250 each. Congratulations. Then we have ApeCoin DAO. So the best integration for the ApeCoin Foundation goes to ApeCoin UEFN. The second place for the best integration category winners is the ApeIn for $1,000. And the BAYC Gallery is going to be receiving the third place runner-up $500 prize. In terms of the best contribution to the DAO, ZCaptcha takes in $3,500 for the first place. The ApeIn is also going to be receiving another $2,000 for the second place best contribution. And D Events is going to be taking in $1,000 for the third place runner-up category. Congratulations to all these teams. Then we have Fuel. So the best smart contract written on Sway goes to Fluxin for $1,000. FPOAP is going to be the second place $500 winner for the best contracts on Sway. And the best full stack app on Fuel goes to Learn. Congratulations to all three of these teams. Then we have Connext. So the best cross-chain application goes to RX for $1,000 for a really interesting platform. And Dalsys, Followum, ExplorerX, XChat, XEarn, and GoPay are going to be receiving $500 each for the runner-up best cross-chain application using Connext. Then we have Polybase. ETHMan will be taking in the first place $1,500 prize for the best use of Polybase, and Polynote is our runner-up with $1,000. And because so many projects use Polybase, 67 teams are going to be splitting $2,500 on the pool price category. So each of them are going to be receiving $37 each. So congratulations to all 67 of these amazing teams. I'll slowly scroll through them so you can screenshot them, but if you missed it, don't worry, it'll show up on your dashboards. Let's talk about the graph. So the best new subgraph category, Scaling Tree will be the first place winner for $2,000, and Pool Party is the runner-up for $1,000 prize for introducing these two subgraphs into the graph ecosystem. And DeFi Lens takes in $1,400 for using the best subgraph for building their hack. And Manikai and Credence are going to be taking $300 each for the best use of an existing subgraph for their projects. Then we have Intmax. Blockhead and RX are our two recipient winners for the best use of Intmax, and they're both going to be taking in $2,500 each. So congratulations to these teams. Then we have Era by ZK Sync. So the best account abstraction security category prize winner are Bye Bye Private Key for $1,500, Fuchsia for $1,000 as a second place, and Zap Protocol for $500 third place. And the best developer tooling on Era is going to be given to Auto Audit for $1,500 category, and Solid for $500 as a runner-up winner. So congratulations to 5 of these amazing teams. Then we have Mantle. cftdex wins $2,500 in BIT tokens for the best use case of deployment on Mantle. ETA is the second place winner for $1,500 delivered in BIT tokens. And ExplorerX will be the third place winner for a $500 prize for the best built on Mantle category. Then we have Tyco, and the best app on Tyco goes to Ethercart with a $1,500 first place prize. cftdex is going to be our second place runner-up for $1,000, and Telescope Abra is the third place $500 winner. Congratulations for leveraging Tyco. Then we have Push Protocol. So the most innovative use of push across multiple chains goes to ZK Links for $1,000. Soft Tokens is going to be receiving $750 for the best case integration for Push's group chat feature. And the push integration prize winner is going to be 0x Uno for $750. So congratulations to all 3 of these teams for leveraging decentralized push notifications and chat. And all of these 10 projects are going to be splitting $2,500. So You have Node ETH, RARX, LinkMe, Flowy, Match, PowerPush, PruvyLens, ApeSync, Nifty Perks, and XCall Tracker, who are going to be all receiving $250 each. Congratulations. So these are all of our amazing winners. I know we went through them really quickly, but the good thing is that this video is pausable and you can rewind. But all of these products are now available on our showcase page. You can see everything by an event. And in just a couple of minutes, you'll be able to refresh your own page and see all the prizes you won on your own showcase. And also, if you log into your hacker dashboards, you'll be able to see exactly all prizes that were given to you as a team. So congratulations to everybody here. And before we kind of move on and wrap up this event, I want to give a quick note on the prize delivery. So everything that we talked about here is tentative and not final. For me, this means that we're going to spend a little bit more time verifying every code base and making sure that everything is in expectation with the event rules. So no cheating, no working on anything before the hackathon started, and also ensuring that everything is good to go from a logistical standpoint for delivering so many of these prizes to hundreds of people across different parts of the world. So all prizes will be sent out by April 21st. That is about 3 or so weeks from now. And please keep in mind that some of these prizes will have some KYC and compliance requirements. So for those of the teams who are in that category, we'll be reaching out to you separately about this as a heads up, and then you'll be receiving separate information about what that means in terms of how you get to collect and give any information that you need to claim that prize. So please be patient for all these things. The next 3 weeks is when we're going to be acting on all of the above and delivering all these prizes. Well, that's a lot of talking from me. So before we wrap up, I want to take a quick moment and say a few thank yous to people that made this event possible in the background. And there's a lot of people that go, it's a lot of work that goes into this behind the scenes, and a lot of people that make that happen. These are some of our judges, our mentors, our volunteers, our speakers, our partners. You kind of see everybody here involved in some smaller capacities, so sometimes not at all, but it takes a village to make these things happen. First off, start off with all of you amazing hackers. 1,400 of you spent the last 3 weeks with us to share all the things that you're excited about. And that is not a small ask, and that is just a testament to how impressed we are with all of your hard work and passion in building something in this ecosystem. So I hope we really continue to build more after this event. And I hope to see some of you in future events too, and meet a lot of you in person this year. So thank you to all of our amazing hackers. That's all of you here. I want to also thank all of our amazing judges who spent countless hours walking through all these demos, giving feedback, looking at projects, looking at the code, and really making sure that everybody here has a great experience understanding, explaining, and talking about what they were excited about and getting feedback to make it even better after the event. So thank you to all of our amazing judges. There's so many mentors and volunteers that were there available 24/7 to help unblock you, whether it was technical questions or logistical questions, or just even running a Zoom room with 1,500 people from 90 countries all at the same time. These people made that happen, and I want to give them a massive shout out for all of their amazing work and coordination. So thank you to all our amazing mentors and volunteers. Then we had a lot of speakers who talked about all the cool things that you can do and got you up to speed on what's happening in this entire ecosystem, whether it's R&D or direct application. So thank you to all of our amazing speakers who gave a lot of workshops on how you get started with different protocols and how to think about different things in this ecosystem as we go into a more multi-chain L2 native world. We also had a lot of amazing speakers for all of our different summits. So I want to thank all of these amazing folks from the MEP Economics Summit, talking about what's happening in the world of minor extractable value and seeing some of the themes that we should think about as we spend more time in this space and as more people come in. Then we also want to thank some of our amazing speakers from the Polygon ZK 2.0 Summit, the folks that helped launch the Polygon ZK EVM and talk about all the things that you can expect in this world. So congratulations and thank you so much for sharing this moment with us at ETH Global. And so many more partners who were there behind the scenes, making sure that all of you have a great time, whether it's getting help for your projects, whether it's going through all of your project submissions, making sure that you have the right resources you need, and just prepping everything that we needed to do to make sure that you get excited about what's happening with scaling Ethereum. And I want to give a special shout out to the ETH Global team. We have definitely gotten bigger over the past few months. So a big shout out to Eugen, Taylor, Fred, Rory, Wilbur, George, Chloe, Kevin K, Kevin, Ivan, Cree, Wichi, Minnie, NMOS, Emily, Andrew, and Jacob. These are the members that do everything behind the scenes to make sure that you have a really good, consistent experience. So anytime you encounter anybody in person or on Discord, please give them a big shout out for ensuring that you have a great experience, no matter what type of event it is or what size the event it is. So that's a lot of me thanking everybody, but I want to get back to our 11 finalists. We called them our finalists, and we got them here to demo what they built. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, you may notice something that's a bit different. We called them finalists because we don't want these events to be competitions. The goal here is to highlight things that we think are going to be interesting to the world and use that as a way to talk about that and let people also explore the possibilities for those technologies or ideas. And we call them finalists because effectively all 11 of those teams came in first. We don't have a notion of first, second, and third. And as part of being a finalist, in addition to any prizes they may have won from our partners, ETH Global will be giving 500 USDC per member to each of those teams for being incredible and our finalists for this event. But that's just not it. In addition to the $500, we're also going to be adding on a lot more amazing things. So every finalist will also be receiving this hoodie that is exclusive to everybody who's been a finalist for our event. On top of that, each team will also be getting up to $10,000 of AWS credits that are available for them to use for the next 2 years. So if any of them want to continue their project, they get to not worry about the operation cost of the infrastructure. We'll also be giving 10 Sequoia ETH and 1 Polygon ZK EVM Gorley ETH per member to each of those teams. I believe this is a typo. It is going to be per member. So you don't have to worry about scouring on the internet for different faucets to have enough ETH to test things. You will be given this from us. We're going to make that a lot more easier in the future for everybody to come and actually build things without worrying about all these things. Those of you who may have seen, we just announced Pragma, which is going to be our conference that we're going to be running our in-person events this year. This will be a paid event, unlike the hackathons. So any finalist here is also going to be eligible to come into Pragma at any time and without having to worry about a ticket or a sign-up deadline or paying for an entry. So that's another thing from the global team. We're also going to be giving an ENS domain to every team member that they get to register and have fun. I'm going to give a quick asterisk here, which is the domain needs to be at least 5 characters. We're not going to help you squat a 3-letter domain name, at least at this point in time. So congratulations for the ENS domain. And in case you are interested in buying an Arbor wallet, you're also going to be receiving a $100 off coupon to buy a Grid Plus Lattice Arbor wallet. And on top of that, if you already haven't received or been given access to Lens Protocol, you'll be able to claim your username and get access to Lens. And also Push Chat. So Push Chat is also going to be, is currently in alpha, so you get access to Push Chat early on, and we'll be able to list your contract and give you early access to all these protocols. Also, if you are interested in leveraging Web3 storage or just storing anything on IPFS, you will get access to the Pro tier for Web3.storage. This will let you not worry about any of the pinning overhead or extra work that you need to do to keep your files decentralized and available. So you will also get access to the Pro tier for 1 year. And to top it all off, we'll also be giving $500 flight credit reimbursements to any of the finalists who are planning on coming to ETH Global Lisbon, which is our in-person hackathon in the 2nd week of May. So for those of you who are nearby or want to come, you are more than welcome to do so, and we'll be able to reimburse you $500 for your flight with guaranteed entry. So that's a lot of things I want to add on to our finalists. To summarize all these things in addition to the 500 USDC. And I want to thank all these amazing teams for being a finalist, and hope to see a lot of these projects come to life even more and be more common terms to all of the people in this ecosystem. And I know some of you might be a little bit jealous, but don't worry. Even though we're not a finalist, it doesn't matter. For all the hackers who submitted a project, we're going to be giving and shipping this amazing t-shirt to all of you, no matter where you are in the world. So starting Monday, this shirt will be available for you to redeem and get it shipped for free. And you'll be notified of this over email and on Discord to claim a shirt. Keep this in mind that this will only be available for you to claim if you have submitted the feedback form on your Hacker dashboard. So go to your Hacker dashboard now, submit the quick feedback form. It should not take you more than 60 seconds. And maybe more if you're going to write some long comment for how we can improve something in detail. But give us that feedback, and immediately after that, you'll be allowed to purchase the shirt for free, and we'll just deliver it to you over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So congratulations to all of these teams. I think I'm going to finally start shutting up, but just before I do so, let's make sure that we wrap it up the same way we do all of our events, which is talking about what's next. So this concludes Scaling Ethereum, but up next we have ETH Global Tokyo, which is our first in-person event of this year. In just 2 weeks, we'll be seeing a lot of you in Tokyo. There's still 48 hours open for you to apply in case you were interested in attending. So please head over to ethglobal.com/Tokyo, fill out the form, and we'll be able to look at the last remaining set of applicants to see if we can let everybody attend. Then after that is going to be ETH Global Lisbon. So May 12th to 14th is our second in-person event of the year in Lisbon, Portugal. This is the event that all of our finalists are going to be getting credits for any flight reimbursement. So we're hoping to make this a really interesting and intimate event and our first in Lisbon. So if you are in Europe or nearby or are interested in attending, we got a few weeks to go, but head over to ethglobal.com/Lisbon and attend and apply to attend this event. After that is something I want to pre-announce, which is next week we're going to launch our next online hackathon, which takes place after Lisbon. It's going to be called Autonomous Worlds, and this is going to be in collaboration with 0x Park. We're going to think about how we can design and build applications in a collaborative world where everybody gets to see the same thing. There's a lot of interesting gaming and the smart contract applications and a lot of ZK proofs that you get to use and leverage. So we couldn't wait to preview this today, but keep an eye out for our Autonomous Worlds Hackathon. This is the one I'm most excited about this year. So we'll hope to see some of you make really, really creative things for this event. And then we're going to go back to Waterloo, where ETH Global started 5 years ago with ETH Waterloo 2023. This is going to be our third time we're going to be doing ETH Waterloo. This is going to be in June 23 and right at the summer. So we hope to see a lot of you Canadians and people on the East Coast in the US see us again, and anybody from the world who wants to join, just a little bit north of Toronto. So we'll see everybody in Waterloo. And then shortly after that is going to be ETH Global Paris, just right after ETHCC in July 21st to 23. Applications are also open for all these events. You can go there on all these websites, get all the information you need, and start prepping. And then our next event will be ETH New York, ETH Global New York, at September 22nd to 24th. And we're going to then close the year off with ETH Global Istanbul. We're still waiting to confirm our final dates. So in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be announcing the specific dates after the reschedule, but don't worry, this is still happening. And we can't wait to go and do our first ever events in Istanbul. So that's all of our calendar year for this year for in-person events and one online. There's a few more that we're going to announce soon. A lot of them are online, but I want to thank everybody here for taking the time to be here, participating at Scaling Ethereum. And this officially concludes this hackathon. So I want to give a big shout out to everybody that made this event possible. And thank you to all the teams and everybody behind the scenes for making this event successful. So with that, please enjoy some lo-fi beats. And this officially concludes Scaling Ethereum. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.